All right, what we got? What is this? Why FPS games suck right now from your boy Enders. Let me see.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a rant video, but I
Hell yeah. I love the rant videos. Because why the fuck not?
really think that a lot of you guys are going to be able to relate to this. My God, is the FPS scene an absolute desert right now.
It's
And
horrible.
I know that a lot of other games are awesome. Like single player games right now, they've been popping off for the past 6 or 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm talking this state of FPS games right now is just utterly dire.
So I don't know what he means by single player games. Probably he means just, like action adventure, maybe some hack and slash shit. Maybe he means you may like first person shooter that's like a single player. You got some story games in there that are like pretty decent. You can look at Warframe. I think Warframe's a great single player experience, also a shooter. The movement is awesome. It's amazing.
And there are a few key things that I'm going to bring up in this video that I think are consistent across this subject. So if you like the content, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know your thoughts on this video in particular. Maybe if you don't comment all the time, this might be the video to comment on, because I really do think that a lot of people feel what I'm going to express in this video. Over the past, I would say for me personally, 6 to 7 years,
Yep.
there has undoubtedly been a steep decline in not only the quality of FPS games,
Mm-hmm.
but also the variety of FPS games and just the creativity of FPS games.
I'll tell you where all of that went. All of the quality and innovation in FPS games are in the roguelikes. If you're tired of your favorite FPS, how it's boring, maybe it's like pseudo realistic, you got some kind of realistic guns, maybe you gotta fucking turn on your little gun to start leveling up the gun because what reasons? Then, halfway through, maybe you start getting some good attachments, and then maybe 3/4 of the way, that's where all the good attachments are. Maybe at like level 90 of your gun while you're leveling it up, then you get like the good attachments. And then, oh wow, you can finally play the game now that your gun is completely leveled up after spending, I don't know, fucking 100 hours leveling up that gun. And now you can put all the good attachments on there, and then, yeah, then the gun's good. Yeah, if you're bored of that, all of the innovation is in the roguelikes. That's where they're all at. Go to Steam, go in there, figure out, type in like roguelike shooter or bullet hell or something like that, and that's gonna be where all the innovation's at. Truly, it is. And look at Warframe. I'll mention Warframe again. Anytime a new shooting game comes out and it has like some movement, it will always be compared to Warframe because Warframe has some of the best feeling movement, just period, for any shooter. Like, it's not perfect. It's not like Apex where you're like tap strafing and neo strafing and all of this shit left and right, like wall bouncing and whatnot, mantle jumping and super gliding, like super glide, tap strafe, back and forth. Like, it's not really like that. But if you boot up Warframe, you can wall run, you could wall climb, you can bullet jump, you can slow down time, you can play whatever sensitivity you want. A game feels good. And look at all the abilities, look at all of the infinite progression that you can get with all of the guns, all of the characters, and all of the different modes in the game. It's awesome. But as far as your cookie cutter FPS games that are free to play and are kind of competitive, there's no innovation there at all. As a matter of fact, if you were to look at them over the course of time since they all released, I would say most FPS games have actually nerfed most of the things in their game. Longer time to kill, more health for players, save like Valorant or Counter-Strike or anything like that. Uh, just think about it.
It just seems like every other week another hero shooter is releasing. And just to make things clear, I am in no way, shape, or form saying that you can't play FPS games and have fun. Well, obviously you can. I'm just saying that, in general, I feel as though there's just a lot of negative stuff going on in the FPS scene right now.
Oh yeah.
Here is how I view the FPS scene through my eyes. We got Battlefield 2042. Battlefield in general is pretty.
Well, let me see. Let me start a little list just for, was it BF? Where the fuck 2042? Where the heck is my thingy? Turn on, please. Okay. What we got? We got Battlefield 2042. All right.
Much dead. Obviously, you have a bunch of people still split between all the different games, probably just having fun. But there's nothing new going on with the game, and it's essentially dead until the next Battlefield game releases. Then you have Call of Duty, which has been making the same game since Modern Warfare 2019, and
yes, we have the COD, whatever new COD. Yep, they have been copy pasting the same game either every year or every other year. And people in general are stupid enough to buy it just because their friends play it and their friends do it. So it's not like people have like no reason to do it. The reason people do it is because their friends are doing it. And it's just like, it's this circle logic of I'm just getting it because my friends are getting it. And then I'm just going to maybe play it whenever they're on. You know, maybe I gotta go to work. Maybe I got kids. Maybe I got a job or something like that. Yeah. And it's, I mean, like, I was playing COD a couple days ago, and I was so surprised to see that they still have implemented the leveling up system in that game the way it is. So the form of progression in that game is so laughable from when I used to play Call of Duty. Old Call of Duties, you had like your overall account or on your game, and then, you know, you played a little bit and then you leveled up. And then on the entirety of your account, you unlocked the guns. And then with those guns, you unlocked all the attachments for all the guns. Now, modern day Call of Duty, what do they do for the forms of progression? They have made it so granular and monotonous. It's hilarious. You can only level up, I think, like maybe 1 or 2 guns at a time. And that's it. Like, your level is like irrelevant. You just pick a single gun, use the shit out of that gun so you can gain attachments on that gun. And then once you're done with it, you are expected to move on from your progression. Start a completely new gun. Play the shit out of the game with that gun. Get up to whatever it is, like level 100. I don't know. I don't care. Play the shit out. And there are so many guns in Call of Duty. That is like hundreds of hours right there. All of the old Call of Duties that I used to play, you get from like level 1 to like level 100. Once you're level 100 on your account, you pretty much unlocked everything. Maybe if you want to like level up the perks, you use those perks to get like the pro version of that perk. It's like, oh, okay. But now with this, it feels like you are on an infinite treadmill. And by the time a regular player gets done leveling up all the guns, the new COD came out. Or maybe the new season came out and there's some new guns. Or not new guns, but like new skins on guns. Maybe there's a new character skin. Maybe they came out with Ice Spice. Maybe they came out with I don't know. Maybe they came out with Eminem. Eminem's in COD. Ice Spice is in COD. Who else? Snoop Dogg's in COD. Oh wait, Snoop Dogg is actually in COD already.
and they absolutely refuse to fix the core problems of their game, which is skill-based matchmaking and overpowered aim assist. So that franchise is essentially just over with, especially for mouse and keyboard players.
My argument for that, at least from the competitive scene, is that Call of Duty, much the same way Halo, was always designed for console first and PC second. That's why all of the competitive matches, CDL, and I think, what is it, Halo Pro League series or Championship series, all of the professional players for each of those games play on controller, because that's what the game is designed for. Now, if you want to have a conversation of, input-based matchmaking being implemented in some of these games, yeah, we could have a conversation for that. But I don't think anybody really wants to.
Then you have X Defiant, which is...
Ooh, what do we got? Okay, we got X Defiant. Let me hear. We got X Defiant.
Is just a painfully mediocre, boring hero shooter that...
It's Ubisoft COD. It's Ubisoft COD, and it's the only FPS that I think that has, besides Halo Infinite, that has input-based matchmaking. And there's nothing really special about it, Yes, it's like a hero shooter. You got abilities and whatnot. Maybe you can, air strafe a little bit, but other than that, it's just Ubisoft COD.
Attempts to sort of go at COD by fixing some of the most complained about things. And even though X Defiant is successful in actually doing some of that, the game has utterly failed to captivate me. I don't know what it is about it. I just simply don't care about the game at all. I have no drive to play X Defiant or boot the game up. And it isn't all bad. We obviously have Delta Force on the horizon, but on the horizon is...
I have no idea what Delta Force is. No idea. Maybe I should go look that up later.
Is the key phrase there, because it just seems so close and yet slightly out of reach. Like, are we ever actually going to be able to play this game or what? And then, of course, we have all of these new games coming out following the trend, almost painfully so, such as Concord, Marvel...
Oh, Concord, that meme. I think that game came out and is now dead. Concord, if you don't know, is some random developers, or it's Sony Overwatch. It's Sony's version of Overwatch. But to my knowledge, Overwatch can already be played on console. A lot of the Overwatch console players are bitch moan complaining about people that are zimming in that game. And if you don't know what zimming is, that's just essentially making it so that you can play keyboard and mouse on console. That's not the intended purpose of console Overwatch. So there's nothing special about Concord. I'm sure they literally just played Overwatch, took all the character archetypes. It's the damn holy trinity: tank, DPS, healer. I'd be surprised if it's 5v5 or 6v6, one of those two. And there's the Mercy character. There's the Farah character. There's the Soldier 76 character. There's the Junkrat character. I wouldn't be surprised if it is that easy. They just did Control-C, Control-V, and just gave them all different skins. How lazy can you possibly be?
Rivals, and even X Defiant to some extent, with the hero shooter nonsense. Every month, there's a new hero shooter. There's a playtest for a new hero shooter. There's an open beta for a new hero shooter. And it's getting to the point where some of these games are dying before they even release.
Yeah.
Take Concord, for example. I made a video a couple days ago about the Concord playtest, and now Concord is in its open beta. And this is not a small game, ladies and gentlemen. This is a game backed by Sony Entertainment.
Yeah.
All right? It has pretty high-profile developers, and the open beta right now is peaking at 2,300 players on.
Oh, dang, look at that. 4 digits. That's something Suicide Squad never saw. Oh my god, the coveted 4-digit 24-hour peak. That's crazy, dude. Oh man, this game is not going to get any better anytime soon. No shot.
Steam. And let me tell you something right now. If you want to laugh, go to my Concord video that I made. I'll link it in the description and read the comment section. Not a single person cared about that game. And it's a brand new game that's going to be coming out for PlayStation and PC. So it is absolutely abundant.
No, because Concord will get compared to Overwatch. So how do you separate yourself from being compared to Overwatch? What do you guys do different than Overwatch? If you have no idea, well then you're doing it wrong.
Clear to me and to a lot of other people that almost everyone is fed up with this hero shooter cookie cutter repetitive nonsense.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is that the whole thing with hero shooters is that you have abilities and things to help compensate for the fact that normal players can't really aim that well, so they have abilities to compensate to help them kill like higher skilled players. And if that's the case and regular players are just bored of hero shooters, like what does that tell you about your target audience? I don't know.
And from a totally different perspective, from my point of view as a content creator, there is almost nothing to make videos on right now. There's no news, X-Defiant gameplay, nobody watches it, right? No one cares. There's nothing going on in Battlefield right now. There's not even any news to cover. Call of Duty, same thing. There's essentially nothing going on with the game. It's just waiting for Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which is going to have the exact same problem as Modern Warfare 2019 and Cold War and Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 and World War 2 and throw in any other Call of Duty game that I might be forgetting since 2019. And then
but wait. What's that thing that they peddled? There are multiple different movement things. There's this thing that they have, what was it called? Like omnidirectional movement or octagonal movement, to where you can sprint in all 8 directions. So that's going to be new. And then they have this new tech. I forgot what the fuck it's called. But let's say this is a door right here. When your character walks up, it goes into like this automated animation to where it clears the room. And if a dude pops up, aim assist will just take over. So there's that piece of tech. So there's 2 pieces of tech. The sprint any direction. I forgot what the fuck it was called. Like the automatic corner clear or whatever. And then they have a simplified version for like mantling and traversing all of the just the terrain in general. And I think this is like a weird thing because so like a couple months ago I was peddling the whole idea of like at least in the FPS community, the general population is generally getting better. People's aim is improving, but there are weird little signals that I'm getting with each respective game that comes out that signals the other way. So a lot of the times, if an FPS comes out and it's got crossplay, it's got like controller support and whatever, sometimes the aim assist will be stronger. Now, I don't know how to test for that, but there's other people that will test for that. Out of a percentage of 100, people will figure out, older games, they had less aim assist. Now, as time goes on, they progressively give you a little bit more aim assist. Back in the day, maybe it was 30%. Maybe now it's 35. Maybe now it's 40. Maybe it's 45, 50, 55, 60. There's just so much aim assist. So what does that tell me? The general population of players are getting worse at aiming. And same thing with abilities. The abilities are becoming more intrusive, larger in effect, faster cooldowns. And then you have this weird thing with Call of Duty, with the corner clearing. You have The octagon. I don't think the octagonal fucking like sprint is really an indicator, but there's a third thing that Call of Duty is introducing, and it's like a simplified movement system to where if if you're like traversing the terrain and there's like some things like some walls to like mantle up on, uh traditionally all you had to like tap the I don't know, the interact button or the jump button, and it would just mantle it when you hit the button. So if you want to mantle over like multiple things, you have to hit the interact button multiple times. But now with the next Call of Duty, all you have to do is just hold that button down, so you don't have to do as many presses. You simply hold the interact button down, and your character will just go whoop 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 whoop, whoop, and it'll just go, which is fine from an accessibility standpoint. There's nothing wrong with that. Much the same way that a lot of modern fighting games like Tekken 8 and Street Fighter 6 have two different controller or button layouts, or not button layouts, but like control schemes. So in Street Fighter 6, there is classic, which is light punch, medium punch, heavy punch, light kick, medium kick, heavy kick. But then you have this modern control scheme where you have light attack, medium attack, heavy attack, special button. So you don't have to do all the quarter circles and dragon punches and fireballs and all that shit. It is a simplified version for the sake of accessibility, so that newer players can get into the game and feel like they're doing something. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you start to examine the effect it has on the general population of players, and you start to incorporate, what is it? The competitive ladder, like the ranked mode of your game. Figure out how many people are going into these ranked modes with all of this like accessibility shit active. Is this a good thing that controllers and mouse and keyboard people are playing together with each other on the ranked mode of your game? Or should you just separate the lobbies? I don't know. That's here nor there. But these are just like little tiny things that are like I just see from like different genres. And it's very telling.
Then you look at the flip side at other games that are coming out. Maybe games that I wouldn't play and still wouldn't play. A lot of them are just milsim games, and I understand that this is a personal preference, but you won't catch me dead playing a milsim game. You just won't. Like, I don't care. That's not...
Yeah, like milsim games are a very niche of an audience. If you like milsim games, fucking go for it, dude. No one is stopping you, really. But the issue with Battlefield is that since it has no identity, some people want Battlefield to be a milsim. Some people want Battlefield to be more Call of Duty. Some people want Battlefield to be more vehicle driven. Some people want more destruction in buildings and whatnot. Battlefield has no identity. It's too sporadic.
Not what I play video games for. And another reason why I think a lot of people are sort of getting fed up with the current state of FPS games is there's just not the same variety, I feel like, that used to be available. I remember playing on my Xbox 360 as a kid, and there was Gears of War, and Halo, and Medal of Honor, and Call of Duty, and Battlefield, and all these separate other games that I'm probably totally forgetting about. Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Star Wars Battlefront. Let's not forget Shadowrun. Fantastic. One of the first games that implemented crossplay. Dang, I wish I could go back and play Shadowrun. That was a good ass game. And each one of those games he just listed off played its own unique way. Yes, they were all shooters, but there was a specific something that made each shooter unique to it. I would like to think that was it Halo 3 that came out with Halo Forge? I think Halo Forge was probably one of the best things that Halo has done for the entirety of the FPS genre. And why modern FPSs don't utilize a feature or a mode like that is absolutely crazy to me. The only game that really utilizes that is, I think, Fortnite. But I am just unaware of anything that Fortnite does really. Like, I know it's got like no build, like its competitive scene is like the normal with the build thing. And like the skill ceiling on that game is just like massive. But why more shooters don't have a mode where it's essentially just Halo Forge to give players in the community the power to create their own modes is beyond me.
Team Fortress 2, Half-Life multiplayer, Counter-Strike, like all of these games. And they're all completely different from each other, yet they were all playable and actually successfully coexisting with each other. Nowadays, when you take a look at the scene, Halo is all but dead, which is just terrible for me to say. Like,
Yeah.
I really, it hurts me because Halo multiplayer, as a mouse and keyboard player, with the way things are currently balanced, is just actually useless. You might as well just not even play it, and that's what seemingly a lot of people are doing. Then you go ahead and take a look at some of the long-standing titles that have been around and just simply refuse to die for whatever reason. You have Warzone, right?
Yeah.
Battle Royale. Also aim assist infested.
Yes.
Also has skill-based matchmaking, right? You have Apex Legends. Skill-based matchmaking. Aim assist. Battle Royale. Then you...
Aim assist is not the issue. Crossplay is the issue. And the developers' refusal to implement input-based matchmaking is the issue. I would like to think, maybe I could be wrong, that if a lot of these games that have crossplay in them would implement input-based matchmaking, that more mouse and keyboard players would come back into their game. For any of them that you mentioned. For any of them.
You have PUBG, right? That's a completely separate player base. And people are just playing that game because they're waiting for PUBG 2 to come out. And
really?
They sort of don't want to go play anything else because nothing else scratches the itch that PUBG does. So while I understand that there are some good things on the horizon that haven't been done in a very long time, i.e., a new Battlefield competitor in Delta Force, it really just seems like everyone is waiting around and playing whatever game they select to play until something new comes out for everyone to jump on.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is waiting for something else to come out and go, ooh, this is cool. Let's jump on this game. Everyone's sort of waiting.
I mean, as a matter of fact, most people that play these types of games just pick one game and dump all of their hours into that game. Unless you're like a content creator or like an FPS bro that likes to just bounce from shooter to shooter, most people don't play like that. They pick one shooter, that's their shooter, and they just play it until it's completely dead. It is what it is.
For the new trend to happen. And the funniest part is, I don't even see a new trend forming. Like, what is the new trend for these games going to be? The developers and publishers for these games are not even trying to think out of the box.
No.
They're just simply looking at other games that have been successful and going, ooh, make another hero shooter. Ooh.
Yeah, they are all going, hey, you can copy my homework, just change it up a little so it doesn't look the same. And that's what they're doing. And from an audience/player perspective, we're just like looking one way, seeing something, looking the other way, seeing about the same damn thing, and it's boring. It's not fun.
Ooh, make an extraction shooter. Ooh, make a battle royale. And you know what the funniest part about this is? Whenever I think about this and just the state of FPS, the solution that comes to mind, the thing that would fill the void, is if Battlefield or Delta Force actually popped off and came through and made a decent game.
And that's just the thing. Most people that play shooters, they want to latch on to something that is going to succeed. Players want a good game to come out. Nobody wants any of these new games to come out and be bad. We want a good game. Sell us on a good game, please.
It is essentially up to them to fill the FPS void. It has not been satisfied in, well, let's say since Battlefield 1. That's a very long time. BF1 is like 7 or 8 years old at this point.
Damn.
And that is the last time we can confidently say we had at least a decent Battlefield title to play. Since then, it has been on a massive decline. And I say that Battlefield or Delta Force has to fill this void, not just because I play those games, but I think it would fill the void for potentially the entire FPS scene
in general. I mean, shit, I'd fucking, if the next Battlefield came out and it's good, I'd go play Battlefield, new Battlefield. But if it comes out and it's at all in the state that 2042 was, I ain't fucking wasting my time, dude. Fuck that.
general. I think everyone is clamoring for something like this to release. Because, like I stated multiple times previously, people are just tired of battle royales and hero shooters and Call of Duty skill-based matchmaking and all the other things, right? So, what game doesn't have all that? Battlefield. Literally Battlefield. And the sad part is, we still have over a year to wait before we even see the next Battlefield.
So, one thing that I will say, the whole thing with skill-based matchmaking is nobody really cares about skill-based matchmaking when it comes to the ranked mode of their game. It's kind of expected to verse people about on the same skill level that you are at. All right, that's expected. The issue with skill-based matchmaking is it being implemented in any way, shape, or form at any percentage, even if it's like light or engagement-based matchmaking or engagement optimization matchmaking. Any one of those little acronyms, and it's being implemented in the public version mode of their favorite shooting game. That's the annoying part. Maybe you pop off on a game, the game goes, oh, you did pretty good. Oh, we're going to step you up. Now you can verse all the Apex Predators. Now you can verse this really good guy. Now you can verse that guy. Isn't that awesome? It's like, no, dude. Just give me all random all the time. If it just so happens there's some good players in there and I just eat a dick, I just eat a dick. If there's some, players that just came fresh out of like the little protected mode, level 1 to 20, and they're like level 21, but I'm like level 50 and they just step out, I mean, that's good for me. They're cannon fodder. Whatever. And I even support the whole little protected lobbies. You protect the new people, from like the early levels. That's fine to have that type of thing in your shooting game. But there's going to be a point where you have to kick the baby out of the nest and let him fly. Okay? That has to happen at some point. All this just to say that the FPS community is, or at least the developers of all of these shooters, do not want to say the thing that the fighting game community developers have already said. Fighting game. If you ask all of the fighting game developers, they will say, "Our fighting game." You ask them, "Are fighting games competitive?" Every one of them is gonna be like, "Yes." You ask all of these FPS developers, "Are shooting games competitive?" Half of them are gonna be like, "Yes." The other half of them are gonna be like, "No. This is a fun game. This is a casual game." Shooting games are inherently competitive, and you have half of the damn player base saying, yes, they are. Half the other player base going, no, they're not. I want to fucking come home from my job and relax and drop a fucking 4K 20 bomb and just turn my brain off and just let the aim assist take over or whatever. I just want to turn my brain off and just do good. Literally, no one has ever said that ever. At all. If you want to get good, you got to put in some time and practice. Same thing with fighting games. All the developers acknowledge that. You want to get good? And it doesn't even have to be at the competitive level. It can just be within your little group of friends. If you want to beat your friend at a fighting game, what do? You go into the laboratory. You practice your combos. You practice your neutral. You practice your footsies. And then, bang. Now I'm the good one. Then your friend comes back. He wants to get good. He's gonna practice his combos. He's gonna practice his footsies, whatever. Maybe he'll do a little bit of ranked online grind and be like, "Oh, I'm coming back. I'm hitting harder." Bang. Now he's good. And then all that just creates, a little stepping ladder of back and forth within a competitive video game, which is good and healthy. But when half of the community says this genre is competitive and the other half of the people says it's not competitive, what are we doing? Like, as a unit, what are we doing?
Potentially, because they typically don't show things until about, I'd say, May, June, July area. That's when their first sort of teasers and trailers, and maybe there'll be leaks before that, but it's a long ways off, ladies and gentlemen. And the new stuff coming out is not doing too hot, as we can see with Concord. So, sorry the video was sort of just a vent video. Like, I really think that people are going to resonate with me on this video, though. I don't think it's just me. Let me know in the comment section if it isn't just me. And be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I will be covering Delta Force in its entirety when that game comes out, because Delta Force really is the only game that has sparked any sort of interest in my soul in a very long time. Because from a distance and from talking to friends, it actually looks like a decent game. And from the people that I've spoken to that have actually played it, it is actually a decent game. In fact, some people that I talked to that have played the closed European technical test said it's better than BF5 and 2042 combined.
Ooh.
So, hey, that's some big talk. We'll see if it fills it. I appreciate you guys watching. I will see you guys in the next one.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, Enders is just spitting facts at this point. Yeah, I agree with him on a lot of the points. But I don't know. I mean, FPS as a genre, it's just in limbo, really. It's just coasting. I would think if you look at all of the competitive shooting games, they're pretty much I don't really think any of them are getting bigger or gaining in popularity. If anything, they're staying neutral, or they're doing the regular, like, standard slow decline, which isn't bad, but I mean, I don't know, man. Hopefully Delta Force comes out and it's good, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Only time will tell. But yeah, overall, good video, great points, but that's pretty much it for me. I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, later.